All right, well, staying with the transgender shit.
All right.
At least 40 secondary schools have banned girls from wearing skirts in a bid to cater to transgender pupils.
What?
Schools are opting for gender-neutral uniform policies, which boys and girls both wear trousers, while others are considering similar changes, it is claimed.
Oh, my God.
So, for a girl to wear a dress, that's too gender-specific.
Oh, brother.
So we need to, neutralize everything so it makes everything equal.
Right.
They have followed the lead of the Priory, Priory, schools in Lewes, that is East Sussex, England.
Okay.
Which has scrapped its female uniform last September, also citing fears. Here we go.
Fear, huh?
Over the sexualization of young women.
Okay.
It comes alongside news that a leading private school is bringing in makeup experts to help pupils who feel anxious about their appearance.
What?
Everybody is, everybody lacks self-confidence these days.
Yeah.
And there's no strength in individualism.
No.
So the institutions, whether it's school or work or the government or whatever, has to make up for that.
How are these people going to survive in the real world?
They're never going to survive in the real world.
Is the real world going to adjust to them?
No.
Or is it just going to be they're going to get fucking mowed over?
They're going to get mowed over, just like that mayor in Pennsylvania that wants to just blow them away with water. They want to blow them away with water cannons.
Right. You just... I would be embarrassed to be a parent that is for this. I'd be embarrassed for myself as a human being that I don't have enough strength to teach my kids.
Nope.
To be fucking men or women.
No.
Jesus Christ. Well, my kids need a makeup guy to come in and make them feel more confident about... Shut up! Raise your kids better, you fucking jizzbag.
Right.
God.
Coppleston High School in Ipswich is one of the schools which insist on plain gray trousers, replacing the skirts on a list of unacceptable items.
Mm-hmm.
A majority of pupils in the area now attend trousers-only schools, with 8 Ipswich schools instituting a gender-neutral policy.
Great.
Meanwhile, Crenshaw Academy near Leeds is consulting on implementing a gender-neutral uniform that is trousers only.
Mm-hmm.
And Phillips High School in Bury has announced that girls starting at the school in September will have to wear trousers, with existing pupils adopting the new policy.
You know what's funny about this, dude? And tell me if you were this way too. And this could be any time in your life. Did you ever go to school or work a job or anything that had a uniform?
Yeah.
You have done that.
I did. I've worked at Bob Evans, and they required you to wear black pants and a white, white shirt with a little bow tie type thing.
Sure. And there were women that worked there too, right?
Yeah.
Even though everybody's in the uniform,
mm-hmm.
you figure out how to look at the chicks and know that there's hotness there.
Yeah. Well, there was one girl, and it's interesting that you bring this up.
Uh-huh.
When I worked at Bob Evans, this was in the early 80s.
Right.
Okay. The guy's uniform was basically a white button-down shirt and black pants.
Sure.
Okay. And then you had to wear the little string tie that went with it. Mm-hmm. The girls wore a white, kind of like a white one-piece dress type thing.
Right.
And then they wore like I'm going to use the term gingham. It was a white and red checkered
skirt thing.
No. It was a apron.
Okay.
Thing around their white dress.
Okay.
Okay. One of the waitresses that I worked with,
sure,
she realized that showing a little leg also equated to tips.
Sure.
So the white dress thing that they were required to wear, the uniform, came at a certain length.
Right.
But she realized that if she hemmed up her dress, like about 4, maybe 5 inches above her knee,
right,
she probably gained more tips that way.
Right, sure.
So she wore a shorter uniform dress than most of the waitresses.
Right.
And that was always a topic of conversation among the other waitresses. It's like, look at her. She's wearing like this short skirt thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but meanwhile, she's walking out with $220 a night.
She did. And I mean, she wasn't necessarily like the hottest chick, but she wore a shorter dress.
Right.
And she made more tips.
Yeah.
And there was no policy against that. It just, the policy was that they wear the uniform.
Right.
Well, she wore the uniform, but she wore it with it hemmed up a little higher than the others.
Sure.
And she made more money.
Of course. Dude, I got to, especially when I was in the military, because obviously everybody's wearing BDUs, you know, and when everybody's wearing the BDUs, you know, they all kind of look the same. But you still got to where you knew, you know? You got to where you knew that if a chick was wearing her fucking BDUs and the pocket was just pointing outward a little bit, it's because she had nice big tits.
Right.
And then you just sit there kind of trying to get on the side of her to get like a side shot of her big tits and the BDUs. And you'd look at the fucking crotch part of the pants and you'd look to see if it had like a little bulge in it, like she had a nice fat pussy. Or
Yeah,
if it was
like a little camel toe going on.
Yeah, or if it was just like a big flat thing that just looked awful. You know, I mean, there was ways to tell. And you obviously checked out her ass all the time and, you know, dropped your fucking rucksack in front of her and asked her to pick it up. You know, you did whatever you had to do.
Right.
Guys will always find a way to check out pussy.
Of course.
Always. And we'll always figure, if you make every girl look the same, we're just going to invent something in our head. You know, honestly. Dude, have you ever had, it is another, and maybe this is just this one might just be a crazy Chris thing. Have you ever worked at a place for a long time, and for a while you think, man, I really want to fuck this girl at this place. And then you leave the place and you run into her like a year later and you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? Have you ever had that?
I'm trying to think. I think I've more had the opposite of that.
Oh, see,
where I've worked at places and I've worked with some chicks and then I didn't work there for a while and ran into her later. And then she would ask why didn't you ever ask me out?
Oh, see, no, dude, I always, if I'm around chicks enough, any chick, I at some point want to fuck them. That's just me. If I'm around any chick long enough,
I think that's just a guy thing in general.
Yeah, exactly. But then when you get away from them, and then you just see them like at a, you know, everybody's getting together to remember that place or whatever for like a lunch or something. Like I'll give you a perfect example. There was this girl at the insurance company that I worked for. Her name is Tracy. I wanted to bang this girl in the worst motherfucker, and that's when I was married.
Okay.
But if there was any way I could have been unmarried for a day, I would have found me a fucking gallon of chloroform and fucked her. I just would have. I mean, I wanted to fuck this girl Tracy so goddamn bad. And at the time I would constantly make reasons to go to her office to drop something off, to ask a question, just because I was fucking completely fucking smitten with this broad.
Okay.
So I ran into her maybe 2 years ago. Now, admittedly, there was a 10-year gap, but she still looks pretty much the same. And I ran into her and I was like, wow, what was I thinking?
Okay.
I'm looking at her and I'm like, because now there's not that isolated environment anymore. And because there's not that isolated environment anymore, well, now none of those people in that environment, what started to become, 7s and 8s in my world end up going back to being 2s and 3s.
Okay.
Because the environment is much bigger now. It's just weird how that is.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, obviously there was something about her.
Yeah.
That attracted you. I've known some girls that they wouldn't win a Miss America contest, but they just had a certain thing about them.
Oh, yeah.
And they weren't necessarily the best looking girl in the world, but they just had something going on.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of how I judged it for me. It was just like, well, she wasn't the hottest girl, but she's got something happening there. It goes back to what we were talking about earlier in the show, was like Kay Lenz. She's not the hottest woman in the world, but she had something certainly going on with her.
Right.
That was just like, she's kind of like slutty, dirty, kind of sexy.
Right. Did you ever bang one of them out that you just really didn't find to be hot, but you're like, I just would like to know?
Not really.
I've done that.
Not really.
I've done that. And I've done it twice, and both times it was a letdown.
Well, of course it is. You build more of it up in your head.
Both times it was, she's got to be a fucking freak. And both times she wasn't. I was like, what a fucking waste. What a waste of jerking off and fantasizing.
Well, isn't that the old saying? What song is that? It's that the chase is better than the catch. Is that like Deep Purple or something?
Motorhead, isn't it?
That might be Motorhead as well. Yeah.
Yep. It's so true, man.
Yeah. The chase is better than the catch.
Yep. Yeah, it is true.
Anyway, getting back to this, the move has been branded crackers by one parent.
Okay.
Watch the language there. Crackers. This is crackers.
Is that a white reference?
I think I think that's another term for crazy.
Oh, because it's white.
Yeah. Who said there is nothing wrong with the existing uniform for the girls.
Right.
Girls due to start Phillips as year 7s in the autumn term will not be allowed to wear the same navy knee-length skirts worn by the existing pupils.
Well, thank God for that.
Yeah, because they're not gender neutral.
No, we got to do that. We got to neutralize everybody.
Right. Diane Burdkay, Burdaky, whose daughter Annabelle is in the year 8, claims parents were never consulted about the changes.
Right.
There was no letter, no email, no word of consultation from the school at all.
Right.
I looked on the website and there was a notice saying that all new students from September will have to wear trousers.
Wow.
And then the rest of the school will follow in September of 2019.
The word trousers is such an ugly word.
Well, that is English.
Yeah, that's just ugh.
I'm all in for school uniform policy. I think it's very important that parents work with the school to make sure that the rules that they adhere to the rules. My problem is why this has happened. I can't think of any reason why girls shouldn't wear them. For years, girls have rolled their skirts up as soon as they left the house.
Right.
We all used to do it.
Right.
But you can't control what they do when they leave the house. It's up to the school to police it when they're there. I feel strongly that the parents should have been consulted and given a valid explanation.
Right.
It's good to give girls the option of wearing skirts or trousers, but I don't understand the need for a total ban. I think it's crazy.
Okay.
Tony Smith, head of the school, head of the Priory School said last year, the reason for the uniform change initially is about equality and decency.
Boo.
Our students will all wear the same uniforms. It is a much more decent uniform, and it is far less likely to lead to abuse.
So they're saying that what they've been doing for years has been leading to abuse?
That's the statement he just made.
Boy, if I was a kid that had actually been abused, I'd be suing that school.
Of course.
With the statement like that coming out.
It is. It is a gender-neutral uniform, and we thought carefully about that, ensuring that it was gender-neutral.
That's nice.
What is wrong with gender these days?
Beats me. I still haven't figured that one out.
We have gender-neutral students in the school, and we have an increasing number of students who are at the crossroads of understanding their gender.
Yeah, there's no crossroads to have. If you look down and there's something sticking out, you're a boy.
Exactly.
If there's not, then you're a girl. That's the end of the crossroad.
Right.
End.
So this uniform removes the need for anyone to make a decision about whether they wear a so-called male or female uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's terrible.
Right.
But the move was slammed by the school's former pupil, Pierce Morgan.
Oh, God.
Who said, it's disappointing to see one of my old schools getting sucked into this gender neutrality nonsense, which is being driven by a tiny minority of people.
Wow, Pierce Morgan said this?
He said that.
Wow, he's usually the other guy, isn't he?
He is. He's usually the other way.
No kidding.
Let boys be boys and girls be girls, and stop confusing them with the ridiculous way.
Yep. Wow.
Well, we heard that boys will be boys is a terrible thing, too.
I can't believe I'm agreeing with Pierce Morgan.
It comes after $18,000 a year Emmanuel College, that's $18,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Tuition brought in makeup experts to teach pupils how to apply it.
Oh, good. $18,000 a year for that.
Yeah. They have been introduced after one 15-year-old 15-year-old pupil revealed that she was suffering from anxiety over a skin condition and wanted to learn how to use beauty products.
How about the kid that has anxiety over the fact that he's on school lunch program? Why don't they just give him $18,000?
Right.
I mean, he's got it. I mean, legitimately, he has legitimate anxiety. True?
Yeah, but the thing is how many kids did you go to school with that had skin conditions?
Dude, all of them.
All of them did. That's just part of growing up.
Yeah, pizza face. Everybody had a pizza face in their
course.
Everybody, every person that grew up in our era had kids that their nickname was Pizza Face.
Of course.
We all had fucking zits. Dude, I remember those days, getting ready to go out to the football game, looking in the mirror, brushing my teeth and going, holy fuck, I got a zit on my head. And then trying to squeeze the zit without fucking turning it like a color or some shit.
Of course.
But you wouldn't have that big red blotch in the middle of your fucking nose or whatever.
Let me just reference something that supposedly was taking place in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see the movie American Graffiti?
I have, yeah.
Okay, Ron Howard, who was Richie Cunningham.
Mm-hmm.
This movie was filmed in 1971.
Right, sure.
But it was supposed to be taking place in either the late 50s or the very early 60s.
Right.
Ron Howard is in the bathroom talking to one of his friends.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy is standing in the bathroom and he's got like this little, it looks like a little chapstick or something. Okay. And he goes, hey, zit cream. Give me some of that.
Right.
That was the 50s.
Sure.
Okay, we're in the 2000s. That's over 50 some years later, almost 60 years later or whatever.
Right.
This has been a problem forever.
Dude, hell yes. Is there any one of us that did not fucking get halfway high from fucking Clearasil pads? I mean, come on, man. You'd put those with that alcohol and it would burn the shit out of your skin.
Right.
Remember that shit? You
of
rub
course.
it up
It came in a little screw-off lid, and you take out those pads and you dab your zits with these Clearasil pads. It's supposed to clean it up, dry it up, and clean it up.
Right. Wipe it. You'd wipe the pores on your face, and all of a sudden your whole face would be fucking burning.
Right. It was all red, but you basically wipe away all the face grease.
Right. Yeah. Of course. Yeah, dude. We all had that shit.
Yeah. But why is this such a difficult thing today? It exists. You're a kid. Yeah. You're going through puberty. This is hormones. This is what happens to you. You can't subvert that because, oh my God, I'm so sensitive to this.
Right.
That's what happens to you. You're a kid. You're an adolescent.
Right.
Live with it.
Yeah. Deal with it. I mean, look, the horror. There were actually lessons to learn from zits. I mean, if you really wanted to fucking, you're at the school dance or some shit, and you wanted to ask the fucking hot girl or whatever to dance, but you had a big zit, you had to overcome that fear, or else watch your buddy dance with the girl that you were trying to get with. So you had to, you learned lessons of, am I going to let this fucking anomaly, fucking stop me from getting what I want? That was the lesson that was learned. No?
Of course.
That was part of it. Which is, look, we're all fucked up. We're guys, for fuck's sake. Every guy looks fucked up somehow. And let's be honest. You gotta move past it. You gotta fucking say, well, I look like a piece of shit, but I'm gonna move forward anyway and ask this girl or that girl. If you don't, then you're never gonna get laid. That's part of the game. And zits were like the early warning signal. They no matter how a guy looked, they were the great equalizer. Because the best looking guy would get a zit, and all of a sudden you were fucking on an even playing field with him if you didn't have one. Right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's part
but now
of
we
life.
gotta protect the kids from that.
Yeah.
Let's here's $18,000. Let's teach the kids how to cover that up nicely so nobody can tell.
The tragedy of it all.
God.
Unfortunately, that's just part of life.
Yeah, just suck it up and deal with it.
Yeah. The coeducational school, which has 570 pupils, has also lifted a ban on makeup for students under the age of 16.
Okay.
Whatever.
I hate this story, but go ahead.
No, of course.
Oh, these fucking kids. Ugh.
Well, it's not the kids, it's the parents.
It's the parents. It is the parents. It's the parents should be like, no, we're not doing that. We're not fucking paying taxes so that you can fucking bring makeup artists in for our fucking kids.
Yeah.
How about you teach them some math, you fucking lazy pricks? How about you make them competitive with the world fucking market, you dummies?
Yeah, Facebook and popularity isn't everything.
Yeah, no shit. And it ain't going to move you far. Guess what? Even if you are a YouTube star, that's not going to fucking sustain you for the rest of your life. Figure something else out. Like how to fucking be smart. See, that got me all angry. Fuck these kids and fuck these parents.
Yeah. I'm sure as a parent, you're glad that you've moved beyond that.
Oh, I dude, every single day I'm happy about that. That I literally just missed it, I think. I think it was starting to creep in with my kids, with their class, but I wasn't going to have that. And I think I just squeaked by before it became a real full-blown thing. And now, man, you couldn't pay me enough to have a kid in school. Fuck no. I would absolutely be that homeschool kid or homeschool parent. I would be homeschooling my kids before I would ever let them be part of that fucking nonsense. I just wouldn't do it. Fuck that. Crazy talk.
Well, I did see a article this week that due to the cost of raising children per se,
yeah,
that couples
Mm-hmm.
these days are foregoing having children because it's just like, wow, the cost of doing that is just like astronomical.
And the aggravation of it.
Yeah.
Who wants that? Who wants to raise a kid to be a little fucking queer?
Right.
No one. No one wants that.
I'm transgender, Daddy.
Shut up. Put on some pants like a man, you fucking queer.
Right.
And wipe that fucking goth makeup off your face, dummy.
You're so
Here, this is a football. Learn what it's for.
Yeah, you're so insensitive, Chris.
I am. These are boxing gloves. Learn to use them.
Right.
Man up, little fairy.
I can't condone this viewpoint that you have, Chris. You're just a Neanderthal.
I pretty much am.
You gun-toting white, conservative,
racist, bigot, homophobe, everything.
Xenophobe.
Yep, all of them.
Yeah.
That's me. All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
I
My
agree
back
with
is
you.
Killing me. It's time.
It just never ends.
Nope.
All right, you got anything in mind, or do you want me to pick something?
Just pick something.
All right. Well, one of my favorite bands is Armored Saint.
Yes.
And love John Bush.
Mm-hmm.
I've enjoyed Armored Saint for many, many a year.
Yes, sir.
And one of their, believe it or not, even though they have a lot of classics, one of their latest releases, and I hate to say latest because I know it's been a lot of years, La Raza.
Yeah.
They had a song out called Left Hook from Right Field.
Yeah.
I like that song, so I'm going to end it with that.
All right.
Because,
works for me.
Because Chris and I bring you a left hook from right field.
Damn straight.
And we're not going to bow to this political correctness and this bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Which I believe drives the success of the Classic Metal Show.
It probably does.
Probably in this era of that crass Trump guy, more and more people are finding us.
Yep, they are.
So I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who's tuned in and been a part of the Classic Metal Show. Appreciate everybody who participates in the chat room and all that good stuff.
Yep.
So we're going to get out of here. I'm going to leave you with some Armored Saints with some left hook from right field, man.
Right.
And you go take care of your back.
Yep, I'm going.
All right, well, here it is. This is Armored Saint. We're going to get out of here. We'll be back next Saturday. We'll be doing this thing all over again. So this is Neely, along with my very good friend,
Chris Hagen.
and we are gone.
Bye, kids.
See ya.